Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Healing Playlist, and I am so excited for today's episode because today we are going to talk about Benito, aka Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl. And man, this performance really is helping me heal in today's crazy world that we are living in. And it just really touched my soul because the attention to detail and the performance, along with just showing how far he's come as an artist. 10 years ago, he was a beggar at a grocery store, and fast forward in 2026, he was the main performer for the Super Bowl. And what a glow it shows, along with his performance, was just all about unity, along with love. It's representation of the Latino community, and the Latino word is just a broad term of those with Latin backgrounds, such as Mexicans, Dominicans, right, etc. But the representation along with the performance was just so great that it was done so well, along with, I think it's really what the Latino community needed in today's world, considering what we're going through within this political climate. And it was just a beautiful performance overall. So before the show, I thought, okay, his surprise guests are going to be Daddy Yankee and Cardi B, and I was wrong. Cardi B did make a small performance along with Daddy Yankee. He did have a small part of in the performance with his music playing, but unfortunately they weren't there. So that was my predictions, along with going into the show. Normally I'll watch any broadcast, any Super Bowl game or anything. I'll watch it at home, but for this particular event, I thought, no, you need to go out and experience this in person with a bunch of people, because I usually tend to do stuff on my own since I'm single. But I thought, you know what, now I'm gonna go to a bar that I've been wanting to go to that serves good food. So sure enough, I went there. I sat down and the game was playing, but I noticed that they weren't playing any sound. And right off the bat, I was like, I know I'm not going to listen to the game, but I came here for a purpose, and that was to see the performance. So regardless, I'm going to stay here and watch the game and stay up until the halftime performance. And that's exactly what I did. And just the audience there, they weren't really into the game, to be honest. I think they were just there catching a vibe, and that's kind of what I was doing as well. I ordered 2 margaritas, a chicken sandwich, and fries, just because I was like, yeah, I'm feeling this bar vibe. But sure enough, when the performance came, I just was locked in and paid attention, even though I had no sound. Along with, even when it comes to Benito's music, I don't speak Spanish, but I'm just such a big fan of him. I love the way he is redefining masculinity and is so unapologetically him within the Latino community. That's kind of unheard of in today's world, but I just love him as an individual, along with him performing. So let's get into the performance. So I also was predicting that it was going to be something similar to his shows where he takes you to Puerto Rico, and that part I was also pretty accurate with it. So it starts off with all these, I want to say it's these sugar canes, and these workers that are cutting into the sugar canes, and then it glimpses into him. And right off the bat, you can tell, you see the Puerto Rico flags everywhere, and you see him. You just know that you're in Puerto Rico based off the way the setup looked like. Along with so it pretty much follows him through this maze where it's the camera going through this I don't know, not street worker, but this guy selling coconuts, along with some OGs playing dominoes game. And that's such a Latino thing. That's such a Puerto Rican thing. That's such, I don't know, right when I saw that, it's that's the people's game out there. Along with, I grew up with dominoes too, so that's why I'm it just was just so nostalgic. They pass, sure enough, the camera passes through a nail tech, a raspado seller, selling raspados, along with LA Via Tacos also made an appearance as a street vendor in the performance. Was kind of a shock. It's hey, LA also made it to the map. And then right after the camera passes by these two boxers by the name of Zayas and Vargas. Vargas is, I believe, Mexican. I want to say Zayas is Salvadorian. I'm not sure. I might be getting them incorrect as well. And shortly after it passes by, it goes into the house party. That's where Cardi B makes an appearance, Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal. And so you just see them all going out, having fun. And freaking Bad Bunny's on the top performing No Pero Sola. I know I'm butchering that name. And sure enough, he's performing like one or two songs and then he falls into the damn house. And shortly after, you hear Don Omar along with Daddy Yankee's music in the background. And I was kind of bummed out because as soon as they were playing Daddy Yankee, I thought, here he comes. My prediction came true, my manifestation. And no, it's just, but still, it was, I guess, it was an honor to hear Daddy Yankee speak because it's like, to me, he's kind of like, he ran so Bad Bunny could walk in a way. And then shortly after they include the music. Bad Bunny gives a speech, and at the time, I didn't know what he was doing it, but replaying it was basically a speech on how to never stop believing yourself, and how he's always believed in himself, and look at him now, and how he's at the Super Bowl, along with how the viewers should also believe in themselves, and telling them that they're worth more than what you think. And that speech, just replaying it and then translating afterward, just made me bawl because, as mentioned, like, he was just bagging groceries 10 years ago, and to see fast forward to where he's at now, it's just such a dream come true for him, and along with just something that was well needed, because I feel like I'm in this period where I go back and forth to like believing like, okay, these videos are gonna do well, and then I go back, it's like no one's gonna even pay attention. It's just a nice reminder to hear from someone in a similar background that's from the Latino community, telling the viewer that you're worth it, your dreams are gonna come true, just believe in yourself. And so here this sentimental speech comes in. Shortly after is this wedding. It was an actual wedding. And so here this couple gets married, and then the crowd breaks apart, and who's in the background is Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is the GOAT, along with, she's also a huge inspiration to Bad Bunny. So to have her honored and have her in the show was something else. She performed Die With A Smile, along with the dress, the beautiful baby blue dress that she was wearing was a Dominican made dress. And that was just set me off. And shortly after, it goes back to the field where this little kid is sleeping on the chairs, and Bad Bunny wakes him up. And I thought that was also nostalgic, because if you've ever been to like a Hispanic party, like those things will last forever. I once upon a time, I was that kid falling asleep in the corner just because like your parents don't want to go home. I'm sure even back then we had a room full of all the kids like to go to sleep, where you would put all the women's purses, and all the kids it would be like the kids' room pretty much, where we would all just crash out. So that was very nostalgic to see. And then after Bad Bunny passes by this family and passes this kid and gives him, this little kid, the Grammy, and ultimately it was a representation of Bad Bunny giving his little self a Grammy. And I just thought, how healing is that, to have a dream back then, to want to be an entertainer, and to have a full circle. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional. It's just a performance, but just to chase your childhood dream and honor in a way, and just have a great reflection. Like, that was so beautiful. And then again, another performance comes out, and it's freaking Ricky Martin. And at the time when I was at the bar, I thought it was J Balvin, and I was like, oh my god, because him too, like I know they're like good friends or whatever, but just to see Ricky Martin, I was just like, oh my god, like he's such an OG as well, along with for him to be part of the LGBT community, and just what he's done for the Latino community, it just speaks volume. And just to see him in 2026, I think he looks really good. He looks fabulous for his age. I don't know how old he is, but he looks really great. And then after his performance, Bad Bunny's running with this PR flag, Puerto Rican flag, and ultimately ends the show with saying God bless to the Americas. He said God bless America, and he went down the whole damn continent of everywhere from Argentina Cuba, Mexico, Canada, USA. And while he's doing all this, there's all these flags of the different South America flags. So like the states had their own flag. Like every flag that's part of the Americas was there, along with there's this big screen in the background that says the only thing more powerful than hate is love. And that just again set me through the roof, because it's just like this performance was made out of love, and it's the message that love is so powerful in this world. It's so easy to hate. It's so easy to spread hate. Life will have you jaded so bad, but it's up to you to spread the positivity and keep it going. And that's all this show was. It showed resilience. It showed love. It showed pride for being who you are. For what? For your heritage. Like everything is what it was needed for today's world and today's society. I didn't think I was gonna cry. I'm all crying over here, but regardless, it was such a great show, and I'm so proud that the NFL chose him. I think it was the perfect timing. Last year's performance with Kendrick Lamar, that was perfect timing with him, because he had just got fresh out of the beef. He just won this hip hop battle. It was well needed for hip hop culture, along with I guess like Black America as well. And I think with this performance, it was similar river, different boat. It was needed because I feel as a brown person, and I'm third generation, and I'm a US citizen. I don't know Spanish, but I'm visibly Latina. I am visibly a brown girl. And to have what we got going on in America, it is pretty easy to hate. It is pretty easy to spread hate, and it's easy to lack information, but to make a performance in this timing and still be true to yourself speaks so much to his fans, along with his new fans that he gained throughout this show. And I'm just so happy I got to witness a record-breaking performance, because it was just reported that this performance, and I also predicted this as well, is that he was going to be the #1 spot for the most viewed Super Bowl, and I was right. The viewing for the NFL was recorded at 135 million. Kendrick Lamar was 133, and so he, by a few millions, just surpassed a new record. And I think what also makes it so amazing is that he's only like 31 or 32 years old. Like he's at a prime at this young age, is so resilient. And I'm just so glad I got to witness this history, along with, I'm just so happy to be a fan. I'm so happy to be a Latina, be a Mexican, to represent, oh, I feel great, like I'm crying again, to represent my grandfather, to represent my heritage. Like, it just means so much to have that representation in today's world. But I'm just super happy that I was able to film this and find the courage to do this, because I was thinking about it, like, what am I gonna film? And I thought, well, no, duh, like, Benito just went on stage, why shouldn't you do this recording? But it was a great performance, needless to say. And I'm gonna end this here, and I want to thank you for watching the video if you watched it out throughout this whole timing. So thank you so much for watching it, and may this be a message to continue to love. It's so easy to hate. It's so easy to hate, but to continue to be nice to everyone, and along with keep yourself educated, learn about other cultures. There's nothing wrong with other cultures, and to remain resilient. And ultimately, I think the #1 lesson out of this is to believe in yourself. So thank you for watching this video. I love you all. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the likes. Have a good one.